It is hot. This week in North Texas, the temperature has been reaching nearly 100 degrees. If you're riding a motorcycle during the extreme heat, it can be done as long as you keep moving. Though the hotter it gets, even moving does not provide a whole lot of relief. Get in some stop and go traffic, and now you're in the direct sun with nowhere to hide, and a space heater between your knees turned up to full blast. Some riders choose to go for four wheels when the temperatures get too high. Other riders don't have a second means of transportation or don't want a second means of transportation. You know, the hardcore riders, the ones who are going to tough it out no matter what the weather does. Well, this week we'll talk about heat, and I'll give you 7 different ways to deal with heat on a motorcycle, from the worst idea to the best. The first way that riders commonly deal with heat is actually counterproductive and makes the situation worse instead of making it better. That's riding in shorts and T-shirts. I see it all the time here in North Texas. It's a hot Saturday afternoon and some guy's out for a ride on his motorcycle, but he's dressed in shorts and a T-shirt trying to beat the heat. Well, there's several reasons why this is the worst idea to try to stay cool on a motorcycle. And first, it doesn't work. You're actually putting your body at a huge disadvantage trying to ride like this in the heat if your goal is to stay cool. Your body has a built-in defense mechanism to deal with heat: sweat. Your body sweats, the sweat evaporates from the skin and creates a cooling effect. When you sweat riding on a motorcycle, and there are no layers between you and the sun to protect the sweat, it evaporates before the body has had a chance to benefit from it, especially when you're riding in the wind on a motorcycle. So now your body produces more sweat that's also quickly evaporated, putting you at a risk of dehydration if this continues. Not only that, but your skin is exposed to the direct sunlight that compounds the situation. From a cooling perspective and a protection perspective, you put yourself at a big disadvantage riding in shorts and a T-shirt. So the most logical step to help with this is riding with a motorcycle jacket. The jacket will not only protect your skin from direct sunlight, it'll allow you to sweat and allow that sweat to stay on your skin long enough to do its job. It seems counterproductive, but it does work. If you're in stop and go traffic, you will feel a little hotter when you stop, but that's a good thing because it will cause you to sweat, and as soon as you start moving and the breeze moves across the sweat, you'll see the benefit of sweat, and it will last longer because you'll have a layer of protection to keep that sweat on your body longer. So wear a jacket to help your body benefit from the sweat, but what you wear under the jacket is almost as important in extreme heat. Cotton does not work very well. The best material for under the jacket are those wicking shirts that you can find just about anywhere. Amazon has some of those, and I'll have a link to that in the description. Or you can buy them at Walmart and several other retailers. Long sleeve is the best because it provides the greatest cooling effect. These work because they help cool the body by pulling the sweat from the body and boosting the effects of the evaporative cooling. So you're using your body's own heat defense, but you're boosting the benefits of that by adding a layer to protect you from the sun and increasing the benefits of evaporative cooling. So when it comes to your body's ability to deal with heat all on its own, this is about as good as it gets. Riding with a jacket and wearing an evaporative shirt under the jacket. From here on out, we'll need to add external sources to the mix to help keep us cool. The first and the cheapest is water. Just carrying a little water in your saddlebags and keeping that wicking shirt wet under your jacket can pay huge benefits. You won't even have to take off your jacket or gear to do this. Just pull the collar back, pour a little bit down the front of the jacket and a little bit down the back of the jacket, and you'll have a nice cooling breeze for about 30 minutes as long as you're moving. If you're really hot when you do this, that first 10 minutes are the best. Man, it's nice to pour a little water in the jacket and get back on the road. Not only does it cool you off, but it helps wake you up too, helps wake the mind up. On my trip back from Colorado a few years ago, I hit some really tough heat in New Mexico. This trick got me through and allowed me to continue riding in what would have otherwise been some unbearable heat. If pulling over every 30 minutes to add water is too much, you can extend that time by using some evaporative cooling rags or an evaporative cooling vest. These work similar to using the water method mentioned earlier, but they're able to hold the water in the material so that you get the benefit of longer cooling period. You can opt for just the cooling towel around the neck or a vest under the jacket, but over the wicking shirt. These are good for roughly 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the heat, but the downside to this method is it requires more water to soak the vest. So you're usually required to take the vest off and to get it properly soaked. So think a bathroom sink at a gas station to get it wet, as opposed to carrying the water with you to re-soak the vest. Now, this method can get you through a day if you're willing to stop frequently to re-soak the vest. But what if I told you there was one method that puts all the other techniques to shame? There's one more thing that you can do for the right rider that this could be a true game changer. Up to this point, we've traded convenience for cooling, and each step along the way has required a little more effort from you as the rider, but has offered greater cooling effect. This last option is no different. It does require more effort on your part, but it provides a cooling effect that none of these other techniques can match. It's called cycle chillers. Cycle chiller is a product that circulates ice cold water across the core of your body, allowing you to ride longer, ride cooler, and sweat less out on the road. I was sent a cycle chiller demo unit and set it up on my Honda Goldwing. I went for an hour ride in all types of road conditions, stop and go traffic, sitting at red lights, riding at highway speeds, and the temperature was in the mid-90s when I took out on this little trip. Without the cycle chillers, this vest would have been a very warm ride. With the vest on, under my favorite riding jacket, with all the vents closed, it was a very cool and comfortable ride. Now, there are a few options from cycle chillers. They offer a backpack version where the ice and unit are all self-contained in the backpack. This carries a little less ice, so it'll need to be recharged or changed more often. And they have a version like shown on my Goldwing where the ice is contained separately and strapped to the rear of the motorcycle. This carries more ice, so it will last longer out on the road, giving you more distance between stops. If you're on a road trip, ice can be found at just about every gas stop, so adding more ice along the way should not be a huge problem. As far as powering the unit, you can choose to run the unit off of your motorcycle's battery by connecting it to a terminal, like you would use for a trickle charger, or they have a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that will last about 8 hours, so a full day's ride. This option provides by far the best cooling effect, but it also comes at a cost of some convenience. If you're on and off the motorcycle a lot, this may not be the best option. But once the unit's set up, it's really pretty simple to use. There's a single on-off switch. The battery lasts 8 hours, or you can hook it directly to the motorcycle, and it will keep you cool on the motorcycle as long as it has ice in the cooler. Heck, I bet you could even throw a bottle of water or two in the cooler to keep it cool. And if you're going to strap a cooler to the back seat, you might as well get some extra use from it. But if you're on a road trip or will be on the motorcycle for about an hour or longer, or riding in extreme heat, this may be exactly what you're looking for. I don't know of another product that offers the cooling effect that can be found with the Cycle Chiller's cooling system. You can read more about Cycle Chiller at MCrider.com/chiller. I have a link to that in the description. Also, Stu from Cycle Chillers goes by the username of Old Levi on the MCrider forums. So he's available on the forums, and you can reach out to Stu if you have any further questions on the Cycle Chillers. And if you're not a forum member, you're missing out on the best part of MCrider. You can learn more about getting access to the forum at mcrider.com/support. We have writing experts on the forums from all over the world who believe in the message that MCrider promotes: safe, responsible motorcycle riding. There's a wealth of knowledge and camaraderie on the forums that you won't find anyplace else. So if you're seeking motorcycle knowledge, have knowledge to give, or you're anywhere in between, the forums are a great resource for you. Leave a comment below if I missed anything, and make sure and join the discussion on the forums. Till next week, guys, this is Kevin with MCrider, and I'll see you on the road. There are multiple ways to support the channel. You can become a member on YouTube at mcrider.com/member, or support the channel through Patreon at mcrider.com/support. Either way, you'll get full access to the forum and the field guides, which will further the training that we release here on a weekly basis.